So, he got fired as Superman. James Gunn now wants to do a young cub reporter, where he first meets Lois Lane, or will it be Lewis Lane? Because 2022. But Henry Cavill, I did a report yesterday, where it was rumoured that he was going to be doing a Warhammer 40,000 series. This was confirmed, actually, shortly after I'd made that video. Annoyingly, because if I'd just waited a little bit longer, we would have had confirmation from Henry Cavill on his Instagram. So this is all confirmed, he's actually going up, from kind of one leap to another now, finally, getting a bit of justice. And he popped this on Instagram, confirming, for 30 years I've dreamt of seeing a Warhammer universe in live action. Now, after 22 years of experience in this industry, I finally feel that I have the skill set and experience to guide a Warhammer cinematic universe into life. Huh? Yeah, this is big news. Partnering with Natalie Viscuso at Vertigo has been a blessing beyond words. Without her, we might not have found the perfect home at Amazon. So that confirms the previous reports that this Warhammer TV series was going to be at Amazon. Amazon is bad, generally, but he's obviously not an idiot, and Henry Cavill says this. And having a home like Amazon will give us the freedom to be true to the massive scope of Warhammer. So I'm hoping, ladies and gents, that statement and the follow-up, where he says, to all of you Warhammer fans out there, I promise to respect this IP that we love. I'm hoping all of this confirms that basically, Amazon's not the detractor, and he's basically saying, I'm not an idiot, I hear what you guys think about this. And he says, I promise to bring you something familiar, and I endeavour to bring you something fantastic that is, as of yet, unseen. Our first steps are to find our filmmaker, creator, writer. Watch this space, my friends. And you know what this post actually confirms to me? Is that him, as the role of executive producer, which was in the report yesterday, is much more hands-on. This is in very good hands, because he's very clearly got creative control. And is not just, EP in name only, which sometimes you can be. Often you can be. Like John Carpenter is executive producer on the Halloween films. He's got nothing to do with that. He has literally no creative say whatsoever. He's the executive producer because he created the first Halloween. That's why. So this is really good news. Really, really good news for Warhammer fans, for tabletop RPG fans, because this will spawn the next big wave. Superhero movies have been on their way out for a little while. I say this, and I get a lot of, sort of flack for this, but it's the truth. Some people keep quoting gross numbers. Gross means nothing. It's like, sure, fine, but we need to know what the actual take-home profit is of these things, and they've been on a decline for a little while. It feels stagnant. DC feels stagnant. Marvel feels directionless. I'm sure I'm not speaking for everyone. I know that. But I do know I am speaking for a fair amount of people. Not the majority, but a fair amount of people. And before, the buzz surrounding superhero movies were huge. It's just not the same. So I think this is really good news. And we also learned a little bit more about what Man of Steel 2 would have been. So former Superman Henry Cavill was a pawn in The Rock's failed DC plans. So this is a shame. A massive shame, in fact. The Hollywood Reporter has shared some more insights into Henry Cavill's Superman departure, kicking off by confirming that DC Studios is plotting a reboot that will likely cut most, if not all, ties to the previous regime and the DCEU. That's given. That might go some way in explaining why both Cavill and Gal Gadot's cameos in The Flash have now been scrapped. And as we're sure you're aware, it was Black Adam star Dwayne Johnson who pushed for Cavill to return as Superman. After the British actor headed to social media to announce that he was back, The Rock quickly took credit for the news, claiming to have gone around former DC Films boss Walter Hamada to make the cameo happen. However, Black Adam's poor box office performance called Johnson's plans for a sequel, spin-off, and a Black Adam vs Superman battle into question, even before James Gunn and Peter Safran pulled the plug on Cavill's time as the Man of Steel. One insider tells The Hollywood Reporter, in the end, Henry was a pawn in Dwayne's failed attempt to control a piece of DC. Which, yeah, I mean, everyone was vying for power there. As speculation has been rife, it seems Johnson made use of Superman's popularity to boost interest in Black Adam and ensure his plans for the DCEU would come to fruition. It's no secret that the Rock wanted to take charge of his own corner of that shared world, but the odds of any of the projects coming to fruition are now incredibly low. And since DC Studios was launched, Johnson and or his team are alleged to have leaked financial data to Deadline in an effort to make Black Adam look profitable. Real bad look if that's the case. However, insiders later describe using toy sales and home entertainment projections as a laughable way of trying to make the movie look like anything other than what it was, a disappointment, which, yeah, I mean, it was a bomb. Something tells us The Rock as Black Adam is probably done. But let's talk about this Man of Steel sequel, which obviously is now no more. This was going to be, well, it was basically under Michael DeLuca and Pam Abdi's watch. The pitch put forward by Stephen Knight, who did Peaky Blinders, was said to feature Brainiac as the lead villain. Which I love the sound of. I'm all about Brainiac. That would have been sick. Brainiac, good actor playing Brainiac versus Henry Cavill Superman. I'd have loved that. Now look, it's the right thing to reboot everything, but it's not the right way to, I don't know, go out with such a level of disgrace and impromptu rebooting. In universe, there are ways where you can do one movie, lead to a fracture point. The Flash is the easiest option to do that. Leads to a fracture point in the universe, and then everything gets rebooted from there. Multiverse, it's really easy to do. It's not hard. It just shows creative bankruptcy, because that would actually be interesting. You'd get everyone on side. People would get to see Henry Cavill as the final, entry of Superman. People would be interested in it, and then you just go from there. It makes sense, but no, unfortunately not. So Henry Cavill done with Superman, and hopefully on to better things. Sounding like he's just building out his own cinematic world now. I mean, what an absolute legend. Like, really, really cool. Love it. I don't think there could be a better person to do this than Henry Cavill. So let me know what you guys think down below. Cheers. Take care.